words to that effect, meaning that sometimes the whole picture only emerges much later in life, and we realize that even suffering can lead to something positive. But what do you tell someone who's terminally ill or has a serious handicap if they ask, why me? Well, that's a question that the theologian and politician Erika Schuchart addresses in a book with that title. She'll be my guest in a moment, but first, here's a look at how she doesn't simply theorize about helping people, she actually does it.
Erika Schuchart is a recipient of the Golden Cross, the highest award of Germany's Protestant Church. She received it in recognition of her years of tireless work fighting for human rights, working with the handicapped, and helping people in crisis.
It's important for me to help people who are unable to fight for their own rights until they can do it themselves. That's the most wonderful thing anyone can do. That's happiness.
This event in February is a case in point. Erika Schuchart arranged a trip to Berlin's Pergamon Museum for a group of 450 handicapped young people. Schuchart, a member of parliament, arranges trips like this twice a year. She believes the museum's treasures should be accessible to handicapped and non-handicapped citizens alike.
And what he's wearing there, that is a round cap. And here you can see an armband.
Erika Schuchart calls these days culture parades. The idea is to create a sense of togetherness and to build bridges between the handicapped and the able-bodied. Erika lost a sister in an accident and now tries to help those who have difficulty accepting their fate. People who can't help asking why this happened to them and how they can carry on.
I think you have to take life as it comes. I'm a Protestant, a Lutheran. Other people are from other religions. What's important is that you know where you stand, where you come from, and where you're going.
Also on the itinerary in Berlin is a visit to the glass dome of Germany's parliament building, the Bundestag. There's a special reason for this. For Erika, the spiral form is a parallel for how people learn to cope with and overcome crises. She has studied over 2,000 life stories of people who have been confronted with death or incurable disease or sudden catastrophe. Some find solace in religion, others in the sympathy provided by self-help groups. All search for explanations. Learning to live with suffering is a challenge many are unable to meet. Many are also unable to empathize with the fate of others, to stand by those in need and help them. For Erika Schuchart, it's a painful process, but one she doesn't shy away from.
And Erika Schuchart has joined me on Germany Today. Welcome. Author of a book called Why Me? When somebody who, say, has a terminal illness asks you this question, how do you answer that person?
I think the most important thing is to listen to that person and under no circumstances try to explain their problem away. Everyone has the right to say, why me? Like Jesus on the cross, when he said, why have you forsaken me? So the secret is, if the person has the freedom to express their complaint, he or she will find their own answer. At some stage, he or she then realizes why they're suffering in the way they are and what they can do about it.
So you're really saying there's a spiritual message in that. I mean, I'd like to get to that in just a moment. You talk a lot about the spiral in your book. Perhaps you can explain what the spiral is exactly, how it works.
The spiral represents the journey of the soul. The soul is in despair, it's crying out, it's helpless. Everything is uncertain, and from this uncertainty the soul must learn the certainty that it is sick and accept it. And that's like a journey through a dark tunnel. Through aggression, mistreatment, depression, the acceptance will come where you say, I realize that's what it is. It's a journey through a dark tunnel.
So you're saying acceptance is really part of the healing process, as it were, but isn't it equally true that sometimes not accepting one's fate can be the positive thing to say, I won't put up with this, I'm going to change my life, I'm not going to just accept this and let it be?
The attitude, I can't accept this, is not the issue. You see, the spiral is never ending. It comes back to you again and again, every time you're in crisis. The decisive thing is that I allow people to find their own pace, to find their own answer, or to continue in their non-acceptance or aggression for as long as they need to. The thing is, the helpers always interpret the aggression as being directed against them personally, but the secret is to see the aggression as a manifestation of love, that the individual trusts them enough to put up with their complaints and aggression. The person afflicted needs that in order to be able to accept it.
Yeah, but you're really saying that, I mean, pain or suffering is a way in which we can learn things that maybe we have to learn. What about people who seemingly don't have any problems in life? I mean, would it then be true to say that they are primitive or weak? I mean, how does the learning process take place in people who don't have those problems?
I think every person reaches a point in their life when they feel torn up inside. It may well be that for their whole lives they don't want or need or are unable to recognize that we all know the problem of repression. I've never met anyone who didn't have this problem of suffering, but I know no end of people who have repressed it.
Does one have to have God, in your opinion, to get there, to have this process happen?
I think it's important that people have someone to talk to. For Christians, it's God. For people of other religions, it's something else. The decisive thing is that it's a dialogue in which I am accountable to someone, even if I don't actually do anything.
Thank you very much.